tease of dead end unknowing. Living in a fast car, living in a fast car days.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers. My name's Chad Beard, and I'm a country music artist, content creator, and NASCAR super fan, joined always by my illustrious co-hosts. Please allow me to introduce them to you. Hailing from the majestic land of Ohio, where the cows are bored and the mullets are born, please rise for the Sultan of Swag, the Baron of the Backstretch, Rick freaking Kojan. He's not just the Hoss VIP coordinator. He's the reason the garage smells faintly of cologne and confidence. Rick once turned a folding chair into bottle service. He once allegedly high-fived a bald eagle mid-race. His hospitality game, unmatched. His hair, once applied for its own media credentials. His sunglasses, always slightly too expensive. If race day had a runway, Rick's already walked down it and moonwalked back. Some say he is a caution flag because when he shows up, everything stops. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kojan.
What's up?
Buddy? How are you?
Thank you for that wonderful intro.
He's doing a good job with these.
I'll say, I don't know if you can beat that.
Oh, you just
he
wait,
can.
buddy.
Oh, you just wait, Thomas.
No, he can. Wait till you see what's coming.
Yeah.
Let me, oh yeah, here's what I'm in. Sound the alarms. The servers are sweating, and somewhere a printer just caught fire from sheer intimidation. Because strutting into your podcast stream like a malware-free miracle is the man who put the hot in the hot spot, Chris Justice, the only guy who can fix your network and steal your girlfriend all in the same afternoon. Once clocked at a sub-10 speed in cleats, now clocking data speeds that make Elon nervous. Chris is a rare human who can rock a quarter zip, wield a Cat 6 cable like a samurai sword, and still have time to smirk into the camera like it owes him money. He doesn't troubleshoot. He power flexes until your problems disappear. He doesn't run diagnostics. He stares into your modem's soul. He's the reason your Wi-Fi connects automatically, simply out of respect. So grab your HDMI, cancel your IT ticket, and dim the lights because Chris Justice just entered the chat and algorithms are already blushing.
Well,
Jeez.
listen, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say, but thank you.
Hello.
That's pretty damn good right there.
If I could read without stumbling,
That's
that
pretty
would
good.
be great. And today we have a special guest on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, race fans and resin sniffers, welcome to the only podcast where full-size ego meets 164 scale cars. Our guest today is a man of many talents. By day, he's the mastermind of Lionel Racing, slinging diecast so hot they need fire suits. He's the Picasso of paint schemes, the wizard of window nets, and the reason your wallet cries every time a new throwback gets announced. But wait, there's more. This man isn't just the diecast don. He's also a legally ordained internet minister. That's right. If you fall in love while arguing over the correct shade of Jeff Gordon's 2001 Flames, Thomas DeBoyace can officiate your wedding and hook up the diecast and match. He's got the flair of a custom decal, the precision of a production run, and the holy authority to say, I now pronounce you husband and Hot Wheels hoarder. Please welcome the one and only Thomas, blessed and diecast obsessed DeBoyace.
Yeah.
Thomas, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
we really
man.
appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah. How did you get the ordained part? Like, where did I sneak in from?
Because I found an internet profile where you are advertising yourself to do people's weddings.
I've actually done a collector's wedding, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
I saw some stats out on their internet there.
Yeah, I did a collector's wedding, and he's a huge Tony Stewart fan, and he actually pulled the rings out of the Tony Stewart diecast trunk lid. We opened the trunk and he took the rings out.
Jesus.
Out
Shout
of
out
there.
to Smoke. Shout out to Smoke.
Yeah,
That's commitment.
All right. Well, I'm excited. Welcome to our guest episode this week. And we are excited to have Thomas DeBoyace on the episode with us. Thomas and I met back last year. So I did several events with Lionel last year. We did the Junior Motorsports Fan Day together, which I have that poster over that way. Yeah, right there.
That
It's backwards to me looking in the camera. And then we did your guys' event at Michael Waltrip's there in Concord. And then we did an event together at Daytona last year, which was a lot of fun. Got to spend some good quality time with you guys. We got to witness the Harrison Burton win and hang out in Victory Lane after that, which was really cool for me. So excited to have you on, excited to talk some diecast, and I appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hey, anytime we can talk about cars, I mean, like I said, the biggest thing about the Lionel Racing employees, a lot of people don't realize is we're not just employees, we are fans. I mean, there's several cars behind me that I've personally been involved in, and like we get into it. I mean, this is something we enjoy to do. I mean, we've all been there for several years, and we enjoy the sport, but we also enjoy the drivers and the whole aspect of making the cars and everything else. So appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, so I want to get into some of that because you were telling us before we started that you have a DW car up there, and there was a story behind that. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so we actually put this on one of our episodes. We used to do episodes on YouTube called The Fix back in the day, but we actually went in, and so there's a car up here. It's his Darlington win. It was his last win, the Western Auto car. And so I worked with him and getting the best pictures we had to show of this car, put some dirt, a grime on it, some dirt from the track and stuff like that on there. We had the prototype done up. We sent it over to him, and he's like, "You got to get over here." And thank God I love Diet Mountain Dew and Mountain Dew. So I have like Mountain Dew shirts, not even realizing that I'm wearing a Mountain Dew shirt to work that day. And I walk in his office, and he's like, "You must know I'm here to chew you out." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Look at you wearing that shirt." And I'm like, "What's up?" And then he goes, "Are you guys colorblind at Lionel? Where did you get this color for this Darrell Waltrip Western Auto car? Because it's like a pinkish, like peach.
Orange. Yeah.
It's a weird orange."
Yeah.
So, but it was really cool because then we actually had paint swatches. So we actually got the car is actually in his shop, or what was in his shop in this instance before he sold it. But we went up to the car, actually held paint swatches up to it and matched it perfectly. And then we did a whole show talking about the car and his last win and how he got the win. And I said, "Yeah, we messed up the car on you," but he's like hitting me the whole time. He's like, "Don't worry, your guys are gonna fix that, right? You're gonna fix that, right? I know you are." But that car was really cool just because that was one of the first ones I did, which kind of started the whole craze where like I get a call even one day from Mark Martin, and he's like, "Hey, this is Mark Martin. I want to see if you make a car for me." And I'm like, the Mark Martin? Sounds like Mark Martin. I said, "I think I just got a call from Mark Martin." And so I call him back, and I'm like, this is Thomas DeBoyace from Lionel. "Hey, this is Mark Martin here." And I'm like, "What?" And he wanted to make his Darlington car. So we did the same thing. We made a Darlington win for him as well, so he could sell it on his website, and we got to sell it on ours as well. But he wanted the car for his website. So getting to work closely with him, the photos, getting all that stuff done for the Valvoline car, the 6 Valvoline car, the Ford.
Oh, yeah.
So just those two programs came together so quickly and so uniquely. I mean, the old school drivers, man, I mean, gosh, they're just badass. I mean, they are old school guys, man. You gotta love them.
100%.
For what I found as I would say a newbie to the diecast industry, it is a complete car culture, right? Like we have traditional real car cultures and the car shows and this, that, and the third, but having those diecast says a hell of a lot in our sport, right? Yeah. The way that people respond and that people, hunt these rare cars and these diecasts that come out, is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So I was going to say, like some of the events that we did, like Thomas would bring a prototype, and you were telling me like some of these prototypes, these people spend like thousands and thousands on, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thousands. I mean, prototypes typically bring about $500 and up. Mm-hmm. A lot of times because I have the one up here that I have is the one Darrell Waltrip yelled at me at because it's wrong. So I was like, I gotta have it just because it's wrong. And that moment with him where he's like, "What the heck?" So right. I have that one, and then I have the real one. But in some cases, the prototype is different because sometimes Colors can be wrong, logos could be wrong, or logos could be missing. Teams may want something added. So prototypes a lot of times are different. They're different in some case. Not all the time, but sometimes they can be. But typically we only produce like 3 of them. And they're always used to give to the teams and the sponsors or whatever for approvals before we go to production. So, if there's a change, it makes it even more rare.
So what happens to the prototype once it goes to production? Does it get melted down and started over, or is kind of like in a what was a warehouse prototype?
It goes in the prototype Hall of Fame.
I was about to say, we actually have several. We, like I said, the teams typically keep one. Sometimes the sponsors or the manufacturers will normally keep one. And
Gotcha.
then one extra is for us to hold on to in case there's problems down the road. Sometimes the car will still come in with the wrong color, and we're looking at the prototype.
Right.
And then we use them to give out at events. So we'll take them down to Daytona at the tracks. We're hosting a member event at Martinsville this year for 48 of our members. And so all 48 members will get a prototype just for joining us. So we'll use them for events like that to give out. And then, we have a little garage area where we use them for members to have the opportunity to purchase as well.
So they
That's
have
cool.
they have these member lists, and I just know this from working with Thomas on some of these events, but they push out their information to these members, and they drive from all over the country to show up to these events where they can get these prototypes or these specialty cars. It's incredible. You were talking about the culture, Chris, like just seeing that firsthand was awesome.
So listening to that and not knowing that the prototype side of it, but it's almost like for the real car culture where you get those early VIN numbers, like the 1 through 20s, right?
Yes.
And that's desirable for whatever that car is. And these prototypes for these diecasts is sounding like it brings that same kind of intensity with it, right? Getting your hands on this one-of-one prototype of your favorite driver.
Yeah. We even have one that probably the next biggest seller of any collection is what they call the door number. So let's say Kyle Busch is 18 or 8 now. If we ship a car and you get DIN number 8, because all the cars are individually numbered, as you mentioned. So if you get DIN number 8, they call that the door number car.
Wow.
So again, people freak out about that. So the elites, typically what we do when we do an elite, we get the door numbers and then we randomly pick our platinum members. And those are guys who spend about $1,000 a year or more with us. And once you hit platinum status, if you place an order for a specific car, you are entered to get that car with your order.
Oh, wow.
So instead of getting that one, we'll randomly select, make sure a platinum member gets that DIN number car. And to our customers, that's a very big deal.
Are you calling it DIN instead of VIN?
Yes. Yeah. A diecast identification number.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So we even have,
What a play on words.
Did you hear that, Chris? I wasn't sure. I'm like, that's probably just bad audio on my side.
Yeah, we actually have something called the Lionel Garage, and you can log in and you can register your diecast identification number. You can type the number that's in the back window and register it to your garage. And then if someone else tries to register it, it's going to say someone else already owns that diecast.
Oh, wow.
So you can print off certificates and everything showing that you own that car. So there's a lot of really cool pieces. I've worked here since 1996, and how this has evolved over the years. I think the DINs started in 2006. So that was something really big that our now president Howard brought in 2006, really to kind of make it more of a collectible by numbering them. And also makes you can't go back to the well. Like back in the day, you could make a car, make some more if you sold out, make some more. So maybe not great financially for a company, but at the end of the day, for a consumer, it makes it that much more unique because every car is uniquely numbered when they weren't prior to 2006.
Right.
So walk us through kind of a step-by-step process. So I know just from Daytona last year. So let's use that one for example. That was the 100th Wood Brothers win with Harrison Burton. So seeing that you guys do all this in person was super cool. But so you have a photographer there who goes in and he documents everything about this car. So kind of start there and take us through this process from that point to it actually getting in a customer's hand.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a photography company that is there in Victory Lane for every race. And so after they celebrate, because we want the car with the confetti and, whatever else. So he'll go around and take very close-up shots all around the car. Then we start immediately. We come in on Sunday night, even after the race, we put it online, start polling the car, offering it for sale. When I say polling, we're offering it for sale. Once it hits our minimum order quantity, the artwork will then start. So typically we don't really start the art process until at least that part happens for the most part. But once it hits our minimum quantity, the artist will actually get all those pictures, and we have like a render form, like an art template, where they go on and they literally have two big screens, and you'll see those guys working on these two big screens. And on one screen is like a completely zoomed in photo. And just imagine Daytona, the tracks that throw tons of confetti. The artist does it. It's not like a layered file where it's just easy as like, let's just take this image and copy and paste. He has to fake the little piece of confetti if it's yellow, and he clicks and puts yellow confetti all over the hood and the window. Then he goes and gets the blue confetti and clicks and pastes little blue squares all over the hood. Wow. It typically takes an artist, I want to say about a week or so, is what I've always heard, to do a race to win car, because there's so much dirt. You got to, like I said, even the black specks from the track, they got to pepper up the front end of the car, down the sides. So all that gets done. From there, once the art is done, then it goes to the team for approval. Then once that is approved, then you go to prototype phase. Then the prototype comes in, which takes a few weeks to get done. Then the prototypes get done. They come in, they have to be approved. Once that's approved, then you can cut your final PO and we can go to production. But a race win, I want to say, we always say it takes 4 to 6 months to get in, because just the process of, wow, you got to take your orders, you got to get the prototype approved, the samples approved, and all that stuff. So from start to finish, it especially for race wins, it's a very long process. For your standard, sometimes you get the art right from the team. We'll put it up. We know it's going to, sometimes you just know it's going to sell. So art started already, but it's base art. So it may take 2-3 days. Wow. Something like that. Maybe someone could take less than a day, or maybe more than a day or so. But yeah, the race win process, that's why those cars cost a little bit more, because of the amount of work and the amount of effort involved, and because of the amount of decal that even the factory uses for those.
Well, that makes sense. Like when was that 2017 when Kurt Busch won the Daytona 500, and you had to get the grass, and you had to get the tire mark on the right side. Like, it was a lot of detail in that diecast car that matched, almost, spot for spot with the actual real race car.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
Awesome. Yeah, that car was awesome too, with the grass, when he ran through the grass.
Yeah,
on there. Yeah, that was awesome. But that was another good car that we did, adding the grass to that piece like that. I mean, we'll do pieces like that. We've had, when Daniel Suarez is won, they throw the big taco pinata on the windshield. Mm-hmm. We decal the taco pinata on the windshield.
Oh, that's cool.
So it just depends on what's in there. Sometimes the fans, the driver will do a burnout on the track and blow the tire off, sometimes blow the fender out. Mm-hmm. But then they have to put tires on it to get in victory lane. So a lot of times we do have photos of the blown tire on track too. So we're actually, even though the in victory lane for those shots has got a full new tire, right, we actually cut the tire up and shred it and make it flat or whatever for victory, because it's pre-victory lane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's that added touch that brings the value and that memory for those particular fans and the prestige of those cars.
Yeah.
So what are the different lines that you have? So you mentioned race winning and standard. What's the different lines you guys offer?
So as far as the diecast, there's, besides 160, you have a 164, right? Which we also just upgraded our 164s, which is very cool. So 164s used to have a plastic chassis and plastic wheels. We've now upgraded that to have rubber tires and a diecast chassis. So it differentiates the core line that we sell online at the track and everything else from the Walmart, the NASCAR Authentics line. So before we were pretty much the same, just a little bit of details different on the inside, but now we've differentiated it much more and even lowered our MOQ to make more. So we can make more, because if we don't hit our minimums, you just don't make the car. You got to sell the minimums. But we were able to lower it, which is going to help us produce more 164. So that's step one. Then you have the ARC as your next brand. It's the core line that you see at track, dealer, stuff like that. Then you have Elites. The Elite diecast, back in the day, Elites were only for RCCA members, but it has since been opened up to all channels. So again, dealers, trackside also sells the Elites. Elite used to have the most detail. And a lot of this we did because costs kept going up, and to maintain retail at what we felt needed to be X price, like $100. We felt like that was the cap. We kept removing some of the details from the Elite to kind of keep the cost down, which kind of just made it not the elite anymore as much. And so 2 years ago, I want to say last year, I think we decided to make an Elite Premier for members again. And so we made the Elite Premier, and now it's basically the Elite of old, right? It's got a cool box, a window sleeve. It's got the tethers. So when you open up the hood, it's got the tethers on the hood. It's got the tethers on the trunk. Working suspension. It's got the skid plate on the bottom of these are all plastic, but the skid plate on this one's die cast. It's got a number on the chassis. It's got more engine detail compartments with the roof flaps, even have the tethers, just like you see on the actual car. So it's just much more detailed. And that is, once again, exclusive to the members only. So you have those 3 tiers, basically. In the day, you had an ARC and then the Elite. Now you have ARC, Elite, and like I said, now you got the Elite Premier is what we're calling it. And that has actually taken off really well because, again, you have your diehard, as Chris mentioned, you have your diehard collectors who just have to have the best of the best. To them, we've always said, right, a diecast is the jersey of the sport. It's kind of, football has jerseys. Behind you, you got baseball jerseys and baseball hats, right? That's what everybody buys. There's not really much more to go with the sport like that. But NASCAR, you can get T-shirts and hats, stuff like that. But diecast is really something that commemorates that moment. The race wins. You were there at that moment, or you watched that race, or you watched Harrison Burton get that 100th win. So a diecast just really marks that moment in time. It's very historic, and it takes that milestone and it captures it. So with that, a lot of the guys want maybe something like an Elite Premier and Elite, or something that they consider just a little bit better to have, as something that they can have in their collection to talk about.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then you said different lines. So then you got the standard, the race win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we have race wins. We do something called checkers or wreckers, which you'd like, checkers or wreckers.
Great. We do nice job on the plagiarism, Beard.
We do a checkers or record line. That came out a couple of years ago because some guys would have really good races, come back and finish 5th and then race their way into the top 16 championship, but they finished 5th and the car's beat up because they survived a couple of wrecks. And we're like, why are we not making this car? Because again, it captures a moment, right? It captures a really cool historic moment where somebody raced their way into the championship playoffs or something, and it's race version. And our customers really they gravitate toward those moment in times and to damage it when there's damage on the car or when there's unique markings on a car, they gravitate toward that. So we're like, we should be making these really cool moments.
So like the Hell Melon or something.
Yes, we made the Hell Melon, which was hands down our best selling checkers and records ever. We did. Remember when Denny Hamlin wrecked Chase Elliott years ago was that at Martinsville or Richmond?
He right fendered him.
Yeah, put him right in the corner, right? He still didn't win the race. Even Denny didn't. But we made that checkers and records car. We made I don't remember them all now, but we made several of those. And again, that's a really cool way to just kind of create a moment for the fans where they remember that moment. But the Hail Melon was incredible. That car sold like crazy. And then when NASCAR officially announced that they were making that movie illegal, it even made it sell again even more.
So what about the Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Martinsville?
Oh yeah. Well, those cars were tore apart. You can't do those. A lot of times. So there's one cool thing I'll get to show you here in a little bit, but normally there's only so much damage we can do to a car. Most of the time, if they do a burnout and it slaps the fender off the car, we can take and cut a little piece of the fender off.
Right, to simulate.
For display. But typically, if there's damage on the hood or the doors, panels, or anything like that, it's all done decal. And we get asked a lot of times, is this going to be real damage? And we're like, no, it cannot be done.
Right. Gotcha.
However, we did something very cool to share tonight on the show. So you guys will be the first to hear it for sure.
Oh, sweet.
So Chad, I think right away me and Chris should buy a Checkers Wreckers car at retail. Each pick one. Don't tell each other what we're getting, and then do a little vote, and let's see who comes up with the best one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I like that.
Because it feels like we should have a Checkers Wreckers car for obvious reasons, since you ripped off their line.
Yeah.
So I did grab like a couple of my diecast here. So this is a race win,
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get it in the light. So a
Road course win?
William Byron race win. I don't remember which one this is from. I have the card over there,
Okay.
but and then I have this Harvick one. This is just the standard, I think. So,
Standard. Yep. Yeah.
but yeah, I have a
I
few
didn't know
more.
we were going to do show and tell.
Well, I just wanted people to see like the detail. I
Yeah.
mean, the detail in
Right.
the confetti is just,
Yeah.
I mean,
wish-
that's next level.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones actually right back here. It's the Bubba Wallace when he raced his first Daytona 500 and finished third in the click and close car, scraped the whole side of the car all the way down. Him and Denny were kind of just beating and banging down the whole or down the whole front straightaway. And so we replicated that car again because it was just to take that moment where he actually had his first top 5 finish at the
Wow.
major at a super speedway. And so that car again sold like crazy.
And so
That's
you have 2 retail stores. So you have one in Concord Mills here in
Yep.
Charlotte, and then you opened a new one in Nashville last year.
Yes.
So how do you choose what goes in there?
They pretty much order most of what they want. I mean, it's obviously that's trains and NASCAR.
Right.
But yeah, we all get anytime something new comes out, they get the opportunity to order it. Now, again, keep in mind it's going to take a few months, but they even have some hardcore collectors who will actually pre-order the car from them. They'll come in and say, "Order me this car. I'm going to come in and pick it up." So they get the same thing we do online for just their diehard customers. I mean, they have customers who want to only buy from Opry Mills because they know some of the store managers there, or one of the clerks there, one of the people there. So they're always just wanting to go by there and talk and support those guys.
And it's super cool to go in there. I love going in the one at Concord Mills and just looking. I mean, it's like you're looking at somebody's collection.
Yeah.
Because they have displays of some of the older diecast too that are super cool, and all that kind of stuff. So if people are close to there, they should definitely check it out.
And it's a great location. We're right there at the food court, man. It's, I mean, really just go right through the food court, a huge Lionel sign.
Right. And that's Rick's already in the food court. Just
That's not nice. There's no reason to do that. Just because I want to go in the other room and shame your victory car with a better one, but that's okay.
Oh, there you go.
well, that's okay.
We're gonna see what the better one is then.
We will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give us the breaking news, Thomas.
All right. So you ready for that? All right. So
I'm ready.
ready.
all right. So what was probably the biggest, what would you say was probably the biggest die cast on track this year? Anybody want to take a guess first off? The biggest die cast on track this year?
I'm gonna say it was the Justin Allgaier 40 car.
Okay. Anybody
Well,
else?
making the Daytona 500. Yeah, that was a big one.
That was smart.
The biggest one this year.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, first, do we have any first win? What about an SVG car?
Yeah, but that's not his first win.
Right. Yeah, he won last year.
He won last year.
True.
2 years ago, Chicago.
Yeah, what about man, Ty Dillon beating Denny Hamlin? I don't know in the bracket.
I wish we could have made
I'm
that.
gonna say that's not been enough time for that to become the number 1 yet.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something
right.
from earlier in the year.
All right. Let me tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. You got it. It was Justin Allgaier's car anyway.
Oh, wow.
You were right. So,
Unbelievable.
I'm hoping I can hold this up so I printed this off at work here. Let's see. So again, this is going to be unveiled tomorrow at 2:00. So you guys are the first ones to see this car. Let's see if I can.
It was Travelers, right? With
Travelers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
If
pretty
you
cool.
saw the race, his whole fender here was gone.
Right.
And there's a little bit of damage over here. You really can't tell on the front fender there. However, so in the past, right, we would have done all decal. Well, the factory has come to us and said that they have a special blade. So this is going to be, that's actually cut off the car.
Oh, wow.
Really?
We were talking about that detail from earlier.
Yeah. So there's still a point of difference where you can see it's not all the way up to the hood line. It can't be done to the hood line because of the way the die cast is made. So some of this up here will still be a little bit of a decal, But the fact that this right here is actually cut there, that's not a decal.
For sure.
Right?
Right. That's cut out of the metal.
That's cut out of the metal, and it's jagged right through here where it was messed up. It's jagged all through here, and where it veered off in the front, it's jagged right there. So,
wow.
So for the first time, I would say, I don't even know how long it's been, we're going to actually cut more than just like a back fender off a car. Only time this has been done was with Dale Senior Crash Car, but to do that, it was a whole mold. They made that mold, which you're talking, a mold costs like $100,000 or more.
Oh, wow.
So you have to destroy, you're going to pay $100,000 just to make a mold. But in this case, they're just going to cut as much as they can off that front fender, decal the rest. And it's really cool because we're also going to offer the ARC version only with a sound base. So you press the button on the sound base and you have Dale Jr. talking about this historic event, the milestone of how he felt about getting his first cup start with his team. And then second button's going to be Justin Allgaier talking about the race and what it means to him. So it's got a whole, so it sits on a sound base, and we've done a sound base before. But in this case, we're going to kind of only do it with the ARC. So if you want the sound base, you got to buy the ARC, and only the ARCs are going to come with the sound base. You can't not get them without the sound base. However, we're also going to offer an Elite Premier, all these special finishes. We're even unveiling a new special finish called the Whiskey Finish. So it's like this really cool, shiny, bronze, coppery color. It's awesome. It is awesome. So we got a lot of cool things. We're stoked about this car because it has been probably our best-selling car of the year, one of them. And we really wanted to do this, but we just wanted to make sure if we did this one, we wanted to do it right. You know, that's cool. That was kind of the motto behind it. You know, we can do a lot of things where we can do decals and stuff like that. And but to do this one right kind of meant something to us. Again, that's what's so cool, because even our own president, Howard, was like, we got to make this right. Like, he's not just gonna throw some decal. He's like, I want to have a sound base. I want to make, you know, what else can we do to make it different?
That was a big night.
Better. Yeah. So, but again, so we'll release that. It's going to be, I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, all of us internally are excited. And honestly, employees get to buy cars, and we didn't even get to buy the first one because it sold out so fast.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's impressive. Like just hearing this story tonight, just the detail that you guys put in and the way that you try to set yourself apart, especially just for the standard buyer and also the collector.
Yeah.
It's pretty top notch.
Yeah.
So
it's important to everybody there to get, you know, we don't always hit the home run. You know, you're not always going to get everything perfect, but it's important for us to get details right and get things right for sure.
So tell us about the membership. How do people become a member? And when you're a member, how does that work? What are the benefits of being a member of Lionel?
Yeah. So if they go to lionelracing.com, there's an option to become a member. It's $25, but it's a lifetime membership. We don't charge you annually or anything like that. What the membership does, it gives you access to join the club. Then you get access. Elite premieres are exclusive to members. All the special finish elites are exclusive to members, and any autographed elite is exclusive to members. So it gives you access to cars that others cannot have. We also do something really cool that we started a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, called Thursday Thunder. Way back in the day, QVC used to do something similar to this with all kinds of cars, and they would sell tons. However, we started something called Thursday Thunder again, and we are producing 48 to 36 gold cars. So they're gold, and you know, they're like $280. But they're so limited that those cars, we set them for a certain day of the week. It's like, you got to call at 9 a.m. People will call in that morning, and they'll be sold out in 10 minutes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. And a lot of times we hate when this kind of happens, though, because it kind of deters other members, but it's also good. It's good for the brand, right? It's good when there's a collectible out there going. So sometimes people will buy it just for the sole purpose of resale. And we don't really, there's no control over that. But if someone buys it, in our minds, they own it in this case. And they sell it, right? And you know, some of these gold cars are double, you know, going for $500-600 or more. So it kind of but it brings that kind of, if part of what this is too is also about the thrill of the hunt for some guys, right? Like, if you made everything so easily accessible, may not be fun for everybody. If you can just easily get it, it wouldn't be as fun. So we also try to drive that really uniqueness and collectible collectability in the club.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of key with the club. And then we also do fan events as much as we can. You know, the one at the Michael Waltrip Tap Room. We did the cool one down in Daytona last year. Martinsville, we've been doing every year. We host a suite in Martinsville for championship weekend, which is, or for not championship weekend, but it closes down to the last race before the Final Four, right?
Mhm.
And so our members, and they come in, and we do prototype prize, we do caution prizes, and every caution prize we do prototypes. So our customers love when a caution. They're praying for they're praying for when the teams are not, but they're praying for them.
You put it in that in the Xfinity race, you're good to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You almost run out of prizes then. Like I don't have any more.
Right.
So yeah, it's $25, but you get in, it gets you in, get you really cool access. You also even earn points. So you heard me say earlier, platinum member. So if you just come to our site and buy and you're not a member, you'll have points, and the points accrue, but they don't mean anything. But once you become a member, once you hit like over 250 points, we have statuses. So 250, you go up to bronze, 500 goes to gold, 1,000 go to platinum. And each level you move up gives you something, little discounts, chances to get a car, just unique things like that that are exclusive to the members and to LionelRacing.com.
Well, I would agree with you. If you kept it, status quo and everybody can get these, like you say, gold cars, then the prestige drops.
Yeah.
Right. So having that membership and having that tiered status, I think obviously keeps the value high, and it gives those patrons something to work for, something to look forward to.
Yep. Yeah. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because the customers who are the guys who have to have everything for their driver, that if they miss out, they're pretty upset with us. They're pretty upset about it. But it does give them something to look forward to trade, because that's another cool thing. I mean, you've been to these events too, Chad. I mean, you watch these guys, they trade. And if they win something, they immediately try to trade or barter with someone else on something. But it's that whole collectible community mentality. And you even see these guys watch each other's backs, like, hey, I'm going to go here tomorrow. I'll get that car for you, man. And I'll help you out. And I'll get it for you. And I've seen that time and time again, where members are just kind of like really looking out for each other and helping. And that's just something kind of cool.
And it really has a super tight community feel.
It does.
At these events. I mean, we would finish our show and walk off stage, and I would go hang out with these guys at the booth, and people just hang out, and it's like a class reunion or a family reunion or something like that, and everybody's just there catching up. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, talk real quick about, I know you kind of hit on this before, but whenever we were in Daytona last year, there were kids lining up to take their photo with this guy because they used to watch his Lionel YouTube show. Talk about that a little bit. And I know you were trying to get that thing brought back. Is there a potential that could happen?
I don't know. It's just, it's time and resources right now. That's kind of the biggest thing, right? We had, we're doing a lot of our own emails internally, web banners internally and stuff like that. So we've shifted our focus on getting digital on Meta ads and Instagram and stuff like that. We're doing a lot of that versus the video, but it's really cool to look back at that time, because it was just a YouTube video, and it started off with us reading like note cards and being so nervous in front of the thing. And then it turned into like fun banter. And I think it became a pretty good little show. And then, you run into people still to this day. Like I said, there was that kid in Daytona. And what's really cool is, when I talked to him about it, he was actually asking about the show and bringing it back. And he said, man, I used to watch it all the time when I was 13, 14 years old. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, and you're a fan now of Diecast. So I think we just kind of like, nurtured that really cool, that collectability and that passion for diecast and collecting with him at a young age, where he's now 22 years old and is still a fan of the sport, still collecting diecast. And he's like, oh yeah, man, I got so many 124s coming out. He goes, back then I couldn't afford them, so I was buying 164. But he's just kind of grown up into the collecting world, which I do think there is something to that, because YouTube was kind of like, definitely hits with the kids. I mean, to this day, my daughter still watches YouTube all the time, right? So it kind of gets some younger fans kind of involved that way. And we did a behind the scenes access a lot of times and showed some really cool prototypes. So yeah, there's been talk about wanting to bring it back, but it's going to come down to resources and time. But maybe one day, I don't know.
If we only knew a content guy. Rick, you've been quiet. You've been holding all your questions. What you got for Thomas?
I have a ton. Sorry.
All
No, you're
right.
good. Go for it.
Care to share your membership? How big is it?
Yeah, I think a membership, I want to say it's about, I get confused because we have probably 24,000 buyers that just come
Okay.
to the site and buy. And there is, doing the math in my head, probably about 13 to 14,000 members in the club.
Um,
We say active because if you don't buy in a year, we just consider you inactive, but you're still a lifetime member. You can come back anytime you want and log in. But as far as active buyers, it's close to 14.
when did Lionel, the train company, as they used to be known, when was that acquisition into the diecast business?
2011. It might even been toward the end of 10. 2011, if you both you guys were all into racing. So what was the year on 9/11 at Richmond on the 10-year anniversary? That was Lionel's, I think, first year there. And we had a big event, and we actually went to we actually went to New York City that year because of Lionel, and we hosted a big event, and we had a lot of cool things happen that year on 9/11, and that was Lionel's first year. And I think that's when we were first, at one point, we were Lionel NASCAR collectibles. And then we changed it to Lionel Racing since we don't do just NASCAR, we do other things.
Yeah, I'm just being selfish because these are all questions that I had.
That's all right.
You talked briefly about, price point and obviously Elite's more and Elite Premier. Do you have a competitor?
No,
I didn't think so.
no.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah,
Competitors.
Yeah, right
there's no
now,
competitor.
we're the sole licensee. We're the sole
That's-
company to do it or whatever.
That's exactly what I thought. So again, it's a unique world where I know you said you were sensitive to, $99 and whatever, and coming from a consumer electronics business, there's always a difference between something that's $99 and something that's $109. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But in that instance, you're kind of, your own fish in your own pond. So it gives you some creativity to be able to do the Elite Premier stuff and charge the extra premium for it. And if they're willing to pay for it, they're willing to pay for it.
Right. Yeah, and it was something unique we tried. I wish I could remember the first year. I should know this. I think it was last year, but when I kind of went, positioned this to our, kind of told our boss and everybody we should try this because if we could just get the lower run down too, which we did, we got it down to an MOQ of 50 pieces, which is really low. And I said,
That's super low.
Yeah, if you get it that low,
Yeah.
you're going to have people looking for it.
500 would be more my magic mark. That's crazy low.
Yeah, we typically have an overall number. Like we can't just make 50 cars be done. We have 500, but is our number. But just of that one, you can do 50.
Interesting. That's those were my main. Oh, and the last thing was don't ever apologize for something that we used to like to call unobtainium. Unobtainium is good for business. So when you get those when they sell out, that's called unobtainium.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just
like that.
Sony PlayStation's played their hand at that forever. Trust me. So it's good to have things that are unobtainium.
That's true. That's true. I know. Well, I think one of the things I think I kind of got steered off on. You were asked too, Chad, about the brands, the different. I said ARC Elite, and then you also said Race Wins. We also do like for example, the one behind me that was for Mark Martin and Darrell Waltrip. That's actually we call that NASCAR Classics line. So we try to focus on some of the older stuff, and we do NASCAR Classics, and those can be a little trickier to get because as people pass away, it's hard to get the sponsors. It's hard to get the drivers to approve, and families of deceased drivers, and which is unfortunate. I'd worked really hard on an Alan Quickie set and got the Hooters one done. It was his Atlanta win, which was his last. It was for his championship. And so we had the art done, everything done, the sample done, and then it got squashed just due to approvals. So that happens, right? This happens all the time in this industry, but like those can be harder to get. But classic, that's why you don't see as many classics. We love to do more, but a lot of that boils down to just the time and effort you chasing down the licensing rights for those. We do classics, checkers or wreckers. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. There's a NASCAR at the next line, which is for the Walmart, Target, stuff like that. I think I hit most of those.
You guys have also been doing some of the lower levels of racing as well, right? So you're doing some of the Pro Late models, stuff like that.
Yeah, years ago we had the late model, and we just used like an old Monte Carlo tool, and it wasn't really accurate. But again, sometimes people just don't care; they want the car, but it
Right.
wasn't an accurate body. And then it really got time to Junior really started getting in the late model. You know, his nephew's coming up in the sport. You got Harvick's son coming up in the sport. A lot of other great drivers out there that we've used and that we've polled in the past and offered with Brendan Queen and all these other guys, right? So we went out there and got all the information on that tooling and updated and did a complete accurate tooling now for the late model. So now we got all those late models and sold the junior ones. I mean, even the one we unveiled at his shop just recently for the one he's running in October, the one that looks like the old baseball paint scheme.
Yeah.
The Speedway Classics, the Budweiser Speedway
yeah.
Classics one. That one's really cool and selling like hotcakes, but it's just such a cool car. And he's running that one in October. So again, that's just there's a lot of unique things, with the late models. I know we have the Sprint car tooling, but there's licensing issues there. No, we don't have any rights right now. So hopefully we can get that done because it's something we kind of jumped on to kind of get done. And then we do obviously have the truck series and the Xfinity series. So it can get very expensive for a company to every time a change happens, you've got to go redo your whole tool for every car.
Oh, and it's something you don't really think about. Like, so every time there's an update to this, new car that we run in the Cup side, you guys have to change your tooling to accommodate the change that we made to the bodies.
Right.
Thank God we haven't screwed them for 4 years now.
That's right. Yeah.
So my last question, Chad. Our man Chris is a bourbon drinker. Any truth to the rumor that on Justin Allgaier's whiskey finish car, that if Chris licks it, it tastes like Traveler's whiskey? Is that true or no? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, I don't think it's a scratch and sniff or a lick.
I'm asking for a friend.
It's a good idea, though.
I'd have had it right under his Christmas tree. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen, I would have been over there at the shop taste testing to make sure all those cars were accurate.
Well, Thomas, just go ahead and send Rick the invoice for 3 of those, and he's going to get he's going to get those for us.
Done.
Yeah.
Man, I really appreciate you coming on. This has been
it was fun.
Such a cool talk.
Absolutely. It was good. It was awesome to be able to share something really unique on this too. Once you had asked me, I was like, all right. And then there was rumor we were trying to get this deal released this week. And I'm like, man, if we can do it, that would be just really cool. And hopefully get some extra eyes. They're really cool to really call out what's the unique part of this car it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for sharing that with us and allowing us to have it on our show.
Yep.
Kind of first and foremost, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And thanks to the whole crew there at Lionel. You guys have such an amazing crew. I love every chance I get to work with you guys. It's always fun. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on and
right.
Thanks everybody there.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Talk to you later.
You got it.
Thank you.
All right.
I went wide open, hoping for a little taste.